The Demont Show with the super chat says, Mike and Coop, Nas was never gonna get the top spot. That's a fact. Him getting third is the best that he's ever gonna get, unless he's dead. I think that him
See,
being
y'all gotta
third,
stop talking that way.
yeah, I don't like that. I know where you're going, but yeah, I don't want to put that in the air. I will say this, man. I was surprised that he was third. I thought they were gonna throw him up there at 8 or something.
I
Especially,
thought they were going to 8 or 9 them. I
yeah.
did. That's why I was like, oh, they really don't want us pulling up, huh?
I mean, with him being third, that lets you know that he deserves to be number one. Clearly,
Um,
on a
when
list like this, look at the people he's around.
That's what I'm saying. It's obvious that he's the best of these
Yeah.
people that's left.
Like anybody who wrote,
How about this?
anybody
Of the
who
people,
actually, formulated this 10. Like I said, I would be willing to debate Nas over any of these guys
well,
easily.
here's the problem. Here's the thing. When you look at this, it's like, well, the only viable argument that you have is Jay,
Mm-hmm.
which means you don't have one because we just know what this run looks like and what the
Yeah.
battle looked like. He doesn't have one tiebreaker. He's got two tiebreakers. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, from perspective of that, and this is even with respect to Pac and Big, it's like when you look at it, like when you look at this list, Mike, like you're like, well, really, it's like, and this is why Big and Pac are still loom so large. The MC shit, it's like, well, if you actually look at it, it's like Jay, Big, Pac, Nas. Like when you look at the list,
Yeah.
like those are your MCs on the list. You feel me? And it's like, well, of those four guys, it's like, well, he was there before two of them, technically. He's outlasted all of them. The albums, the catalog. Like, the only thing he doesn't have is the bigger records than them. Like, the only metric even by which Jay and Pac and Big beat Nas is on the impact and on, like, the classic, like, hit song making. He's got them on everything else, too, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, of course, he's got, like, Drake and Wayne and Nicki and Kendrick and even Snoop.
I mean, let's look at the
Snoop's got
top
bigger
five
impact.
too, and Pac aside, because again, I think that's more of an asterisk situation. Jay-Z, Nas, they can out rap everybody on this 10.
Yep.
I mean, Big's big, but
Caveat the big. Yep,
even
caveat the big.
with that being said, I think you and
No,
I
on some rap
we
shit,
have
Mike.
constantly said lyrically both of those guys are better than Big.
No. That's what I'm saying, Mike.
Yeah.
On some rap shit, though, even like better than
Yeah.
Big. Like and Big would probably tell you that, like on some toe to toe shit.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
two guys. Yeah.
Yeah. 007 with the super chat says, for a publication like Billboard to put Nas at number 3 is actually a win. With that said, get that list the fuck out of here. No Raekwon, AZ, and many others. Pitiful.
See, but that's what I mean. I'm looking at it on how they're doing things, and this is what I mean. Is like at the point, and you're right. At the point that they put Kendrick at number 2, it's like, well, Nas is number 1 because, well, he just does all those things better. Like literally all of them.
Like, I don't think anybody of any era who... The only way that you could put Kendrick ahead of Nas and try to argue that is if you don't know Nas's resume, right? Anybody who knows both resumes of both artists, there's no way that you can actually formulate an argument.
But this is what I mean about that catalog shit, Mike. It's like, well, that catalog thing is where he gets held so high. It's like, well, that don't mean shit to Nas's catalog. Like, it's like you walk Kendrick's catalog up to Nas's catalog. It's like, man, walk that back down to like, look, put Good Kid, Mad City at like number 6. You feel what I'm saying?
Number 6, nah, that's a bit harsh.
Hold on.
But see, now I think this is the thing.
So this is what I'm saying. No, I'm not joking. Hold on. Like, let's walk it back. Is it better than it was written?
Good Kid, Mad City?
Yeah.
I think to most people it is, yeah.
Okay. I think they're crazy.
I think that Stillmatic and Illmatic off top, right? I think that KD3, even though it's very new, it's a conversation. But again, even if we're playing that game, Coop. Even if we're playing that game, he just doesn't have enough quality efforts. Because we said, we know what Nas's top 8 looks like. He ain't even got 8 albums.
Yeah, damn all that.
Yeah.
I want a Patreon. It was written versus Good Kid, Mad City. You're tripping. That's what I'm saying. Master Shireen or The Message. You feel what I'm saying?
Listen, I like It Was Written better. I'm just telling you, like, as far as like what the masses.
You don't want that kind of smoke. That's what I'm saying. He don't want, but that's what I'm saying. His best album, and I'm saying this respectfully, he's known for his albums, but I'm not joking when I say, oh no, his best album is like 4, 5, 6 on Nas's shit. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that, because Good Kid, Mad City is not, it's not even a conversation if it's in the Stillmatic, It Was Written, or Illmatic, like to me. Like, it's not, it would wax it, Mike. Think about the songs that are on those albums and tell me where Good Kid, Mad City is really better outside of like Money Trees and like Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Like, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe is up against Street Dreams. That's not even a guaranteed win for it. I Gave You Power or Backseat Freestyle, Mike. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't winning a lot of them records. He ain't winning them records, Mike.
DeCarlo with the super chat says, Kendrick is not the black Eminem. At least Eminem competed with his class in years, and he was releasing, and that's disrespectful.
I ain't talking about generations. Fan. I'm talking about the songs, Mike. That's what I'm saying. That's what we do with the Patreon. No, fuck all that generation shit. Okay. This is what I mean. You can't kick that generation shit when it takes a nation of millions to come on, now can you? Or when Paid in Full.
We can go song for song. I would love to see that. KC1 with the super chat says, and Jay-Z hasn't made a good album in 20 years, but we don't talk about that. Now, okay.
No, KC1, we do talk about that, but people call us haters
we
about
do
that
talk
too.
About that. Jay-Z hasn't made a Jay-Z album or an album that reflects the level of an MC that we remember him to be. What is it, 2000? All right, 14 years. I think The Blueprint 3 was the last time we got a Jay-Z level album.
I agree.
That was at the level of what we remember Jay-Z to be. So that is fair. That is fair. And we've said that too. And I've been the one that's been thrown under the bus many a times for highlighting that. Brandon Sloan with the super chat says, I finally found imperfection with this album, Kendrick's Grammy speech. I wonder what he means by this. Was he trying to break his classic album run? Maybe it was some...
Trying to break his classic album run. No, that nigga just ain't got it right now. Talking about trying to break. No.
This is the thing. And this is just my opinion. I'm in no one's head. This is just an observation from a hip-hop head.
Who tries to break a classic album run? That's like a team that steps out. It's like, you want to know it? I know we can, but we're going to try not to win this championship.
This is what I'm going to say. This is my observation as a journalist and as a hip-hop fan. It feels like the break was so long because he lost inspiration. He didn't have it. And the music that he was making wasn't coming out too well. Sounds like that the label was like, look, man, it's been 5 years. We got to put something out. And it sounds like they settled for material that was being made, possibly being left over. And this is what we got. I don't think
444 is better than Mr. Morale.
I don't think one waits 5 years to put out something to break a classic streak. I think when you wait, it's tougher anyway, right? When you wait. But if you actually got it in the canon, that's the time to bring it out when you've been on a break for so long. Like the king is back type thing, you know? If you are who they say you are, you know what I mean? Like if you're that guy, you're going to come back like, you know, Jordan came back after the year when he played half a season after baseball. You want to show people who you are and that you still got it. You don't go out there and say, you know what? I just want to show people that I'm going to be out in the first round. You know, they've already got the championship, me. Come on. Jay Short with the super chat says, Street's Disciple or Mr. Morale? If we're saying Street's Disciple, Kendrick has no argument because Street Disciple isn't a top 5 Nas album. Street Disciple is not a top 10 Nas album.
Thank you. You know Street's Disciple's better than
I don't even think Street's Disciple, in my opinion, and I've listened to it recently and it's better than I remember. It may not even be a top 15.
How many albums does Nas have?
Right. That's a lot. Tracy Suggs.
Musically, Street's Disciple is just like better than Mr. Morale. Just musically, like in terms of like you hear a beat, it's like, oh, like yeah.
Well, Street's Disciple has Thief's theme on it.
And Sekou's Story in Just a Moment.
Yeah.
Unauthorized biography of Rakim.
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Bounce with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
Right.
Tracy Suggs with the super chat says LeBron is all-time great. Don't forget the game has changed for the game to. I'm sorry, the game has to be changed for the game to thrive. Analytics play a part. LeBron is also a physical specimen. Definitely. All of those things. Again, I think that his endurance and his ability to be available without injury, it's remarkable.
No, him and Nas and Tom Brady are like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're
it's
living in
different
their
what they
own
doing.
universe right now.
Right.
Our man with the super chat says, "Peace. Did y'all peep the? Oh no, we didn't peep the Dead End Hip Hop MC report card. We'll check it out. The categories they have is vocab, flows, versatility, originality, articulation, delivery, persistence, innovation, albums, X factor, and overall. Damn, a lot of stuff. It's another super chat here before I read this Eminem thing. I can't wait to read this Eminem thing because I'm probably gonna go nuts. Pause. BCM with the super chat says AZ is better than Eminem, and he has a better catalog. What
No,
say
he
you
doesn't.
about that?
He doesn't.
I disagree with you. I think he does.
What albums?
Eric Terrell with the super chat says Kendrick is not from NY or the 90s. He can't be number one.
He's got Do or Die 1 and 2, and what's the third best project? Pieces of a Man, Sosa.
Yeah,
Pieces
I
of
was
a
gonna say
Man.
Pieces of a Man. Pieces of a Man is great.
You think it's great? I think it's just good. It's
Really?
just good. It's just good.
I put those 3 albums over Eminem's 3 albums, in my opinion.
Okay.
Let's see.
But he's a better lyricist.
Yeah. Leroy.
How's that impact and storytelling and all that other stuff going? You get what I'm saying?
Impact is deceiving, but yeah, I feel you. Leroy Green.
Storytelling's not.
Leroy Green
like
with the
A.
super chat says, Coop, Nas ignored mainstream hip hop for 85% of his career. We should be glad he's number 3 off mostly all B-sides, street records, and mostly no big records.
That's why he's number 1. Thank you.
I hear Nas is like when I'm out sometimes, you know.
You hear all his stuff everywhere, Mike. I'm on Fire was literally the theme music for the LeBron James intro.
I was about to say
the record last night.
I heard a whole lot of Nas records on NBA on TNT last night. A whole lot. I heard Rare Form. I heard, like you said, I'm on Fire. I heard I want to say I heard 30. So for somebody who doesn't make, I guess, viable commercial music, I heard a lot of his music last night.
They sure have been using
on the
this
biggest
shit for years
stage.
too, Mike. This ain't the first time.
Yeah.
Or the second time. He did when the NFL draft, like in 2015 or 16, whatever year Nasir came out, was using shit from Nasir. So it's like, stop making it seem like
Obama came out to Ultra Black. That was his theme song. Oh, the irony, right? KC1 with the super chat says, it was written is light years better than Good Kid, Mad City. And JC still hasn't made a good album in 20 years. The 20-year mark. Okay, 20 years puts us at the Black Album.
That's some hyperbole. Yeah, that's
if somebody feels,
that's what they're trying to say.
If somebody feels like, you know, he hasn't made that level of an album since his retirement, I'm not mad at that because I don't think that the Blueprint 3 is a classic. I think it is just a Volume 2 level Jay-Z album. Volume 2, Volume 3 level Jay-Z album. Now, I do think American Gangster is stellar, but that's just my opinion. If somebody feels the other way and looks at American Gangster like they look at the rest of his career and be like, well, where the bangers on it? He didn't really have any bangers on there outside of the Rock Boys.
I don't love America. Okay, so here's how I've always felt, though. For me, I love Reasonable Doubt.
It's his best album.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Reasonable Doubt, Volume 1, Blueprint, Black Album. Everything else is just good to me after that. Like none of the other stuff is great to me. And American Gangster is the closest one that gets to great, in my opinion. And I consider that and the Blueprint 3 to just be really good, not great. So for those of y'all that feel like the Blueprint 3 and American Gangster are great, it's like I don't agree. And so if somebody felt like that the Black Album was the last time he made some epic shit, it's like, well, I kind of feel that way to a degree. I kind of like, try to look at things for what they are and people for who they are fundamentally. And so my expectation of him as a hit maker was different than most people because I never thought the hits was like that anyway. So I can appreciate American Gangster and the Blueprint 3 the way a traditional fan can't without those, home runs outside of Run This Town and Empire State.
Yeah, and see, that was always the argument when American Gangster came out and then the Blueprint 3 came out because I was one of the people like, yeah, I like American Gangster more. But the people who know Jay from the commercial stuff, they're looking at the two albums and be like, well, American Gangsta ain't got no Empire State on Mind on it. It ain't got Run This Town on it. It ain't got DOA on it. And it's like, well, I guess you're right. But again, that's B-side Jay versus mainstream Jay.
I was about to say,
and that was the last time he did that.
Right, but there's no Sweet or Say Hello on the Blueprint 3. You feel me?
I like
and that's the guy that I love.
Yeah, I like B-side Jay over commercial Jay any day.
Right. And here's what I'm saying, and this is what I mean, is it's like, I don't know how you feel, the record I know on American Gangster.
I don't love that record.
Okay, I prefer that Jay on a solo mission than Jay making hit records with other people, though.
I agree with that. You
feel me?
And you know what? You're right. And I think that's
one of the... That record feels more like Jay than those records on the Blueprint 3 do. You feel me?
And I think that's why I favor American Gangster as well, because it's him on a solo mission. I'm like that on the Blueprint. I'm like that with Reasonable Doubt for the most part. And even though Reasonable Doubt had features, it was still kind of like Supreme Clientele-ish in that way where it was like, he was still running quarterback on every one of those songs.
Well, that's because the rap features are few and far in between. The rap features happen on track 3, track 9, track 11, track 13.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yep. Jay Short with the Super Chat says, seriously, Kendrick fans are doing themselves a disservice by pretending that this album is good. You're you're encouraging
behavior. You're an enabler.
Yeah, he said you're encouraging more mid music. Be warned. Definitely.
No, this is exactly what I've been saying. What I'm saying, it's like, no, do not enable this man and tell him that this shit is good.
And so I guess your stance, not to interrupt you, is as a Kendrick fan, you're making sure you hammer home the notion that this album ain't it, so he can do better. Whereas the rest of the people are kind of dealing with it and kind of pumping it up more than it needs to be, and he's going to continue to do this stuff.
And this is what's so crazy that I've been going through this. Currently online, Mike, who criticizes Nostradamus more than I do?
I mean, I don't know. I think everybody, right? I mean, you criticize...
No, I said currently.
Currently, yeah. I mean, you do.
Now, who do I think is the greatest MC of all time?
Nas.
So when I'm criticizing that album to the level that I am doing it based on something, correct?
Yeah.
Expectation of what you're capable of.
Yeah.
Stop telling me this album is good based on what he's capable of is all I've been saying. I don't give the guy that I think is the greatest MC of all time a pass on that. Why the fuck would I give Kendrick a pass? And I didn't give him that pass when I was younger, more impressionable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like I didn't give that shit a pass when I was in my 20s. It's like, why would I give him a pass now? I didn't give my favorite rapper a pass for dropping that shit when I was in my formative years. Why?
Listen, even I give my favorite rapper growing up, at least he's not my favorite rapper now, the Blues, Andre 3000. And y'all call me a hater. We got to hold people accountable. The people that we're fans of, mostly. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to be real objective about it. Gary Pearson.
If anybody else, Mike, let me say this right quick.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of about, if 85% of the game made this album, I would probably tell you it's a good project from him. He's not 85% of the game.
Yeah. Obviously, he's number 2 on an all-time list.
He's number 2 on an all-time list, Mike.
Where Rakim is number 14.
That makes me want to rate the album lower that you put him this high. You get what I'm saying? That makes the album worse that you put him this high.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm telling you it's a 3 out of 5. It's like, oh, you think he's number 2? 2 out of 5.
Gary Pierce with the Super Chat says, Illmatic, It Was Written, Stillmatic, Lost Tapes, Godson, KD3, all better than K Dot's best album.
Hold on.
Wherever that album is, carry on.
And Nostradamus is smoking this album, Mike. Nostradamus is smoking this